Hey Jamie, hi Grace. Um, this is a little video I'm going to put together for you, Grace. Your dad might have told you something about me. I've known your dad for about, well, for a long time. And what I wanted to do was give you a little clip so that it might help you with doing your front roll. And when I saw your front roll, I was really worried because I can see that if you keep doing your front roll like that, you might hurt yourself. And so I know that would be a concern for your dad. But I've done this for a pretty long time. And so as you can see on my uniform here, I studied karate from the time I was 5. And here's what my uniform used to look like when I first started. You notice I've grown a lot taller. So, just to give you an idea. And yes, in my time, I did get up to higher belts. And this is a really old belt, but I was probably just a little bit older than you when I became a black belt. But again, this isn't really about the belt. I'm just trying to show you how old this is. Okay, so it's about how much time you put into your practice, and you always get better when you practice anything, right? So anyways, my name is Pat, and once in a while you might see my little doggy run into the picture. I know you guys like rabbits and animals and stuff, so I'm going to introduce her to you before I get started. Minnie. She likes carrots. Minnie, you want a carrot? Huh? Minnie, up. Good girl. So this is Minnie. Oops, sorry. I'll let you have her back. This is Minnie. She's a pug. So she's a MIB. She's a MIB agent. Okay. So here you go, girl. In case you see her, that's Minnie. She's my assistant. Okay. So to give you a little more of my background, I've done gymnastics, and so I'll show you a front roll in gymnastics, which is more like what you've done. It's like a tumbling roll. That's one. And then in karate, we really don't roll. But I understand why your instructor might have taught you how to roll, because it's good to know in case you happen to fall off your skateboard or your bike, or you just trip over a rock. So it's good to know how to roll. But the main thing about rolling is to roll so you don't hurt yourself. So I'm going to show you how to roll. But the roll that I will show you is something that's much safer. You can actually roll on concrete or in a sidewalk. But again, it's not something that you want to practice until you're very proficient at it. Okay? So we'll go ahead and get started. Hi Grace, you might notice that I'm in a different uniform now. This is actually the type of uniform they use in judo, as well as in jiu-jitsu, but it is a traditional judo type top, and the bottom doesn't change that much between judo and traditional karate. It's usually a little shorter for judo, but the reason I wanted to show you this is because my father is a traditional Japanese jiu-jitsu instructor, and being that he's my dad, he taught me how to roll from the time I was really tiny. So I was probably walking about the same time I was rolling. So anyways, I just wanted to give you some tips on your roll, and what I'm going to show you is a judo roll, okay, which is something that I would highly recommend, and probably what would be best for your self-defense type of training. Next, Grace, is when you land from the roll, you need to land safely. You don't want to land on your butt like this. Okay, you don't want to be flat. Okay, it's very dangerous, and that's what scared me when I saw your video. And what you want to do is just land just like your name. You want to land gracefully. Okay? So I'm going to show you, just like when you roll, like you're holding a ball, you're shaping your arms like a ball, your body is also going to roll like a ball. So, but at the very end when you land, in judo you would practice this. You would practice, you're going to land on your side. Okay? So the roll I'm going to show you, the roll I'm going to show you is going to be on your left arm. You're going to come around and you're going to land just like this. Okay? So your head will be off the mat. Don't leave it on the mat. You'll be here and you're going to land just like this. Okay? So what you want to first practice in judo, when you first learn how to fall, you will be falling like this. And then they'll have you switch like this. Okay? That's how they'll have you practice. Now, what you don't want to do is cross your legs. Okay? Crossing your legs is a big no-no in martial arts. I would say just about any martial arts, you never cross your legs because it becomes a very weak situation for you. Okay? So, here, land just like that. Okay? Now next, to get to that position, what they'll do to practice that is you'll be in a squat just like this, and they'll have you fall back into the fall. Okay? From here, they'll have you fall back into the fall. So that's another thing to practice. Okay? Before you actually get to a point you're taking a fall from a standing position. Alright Grace, so I have a mat here and you see the triangle? I'm going to show you how to use the triangle to place your hand and your feet for the roll, and then I'll reposition the mat and I'll come towards the camera so you can see how it looks. Okay? So first, you put your foot, if you're going to roll on your left side, you're going to put your foot here, on this corner of the triangle. Your hand will go here, and you bend your knee forward over your toes. Your back leg here is going to push off. And most important, you're going to take your chin and you're going to tuck it. You're going to touch your chest with your chin. You have to tuck your chin, okay? So if you don't, you're going to hit your head like this and you're going to injure your neck. You don't want that, okay? So your hand goes here, fingers pointing towards your other hand. Your hands point and face each other, okay? And you're going to keep this arm bent. You don't want it straight because it doesn't roll. You want it bent. So here, you're creating a circle. This is a circle. And you're going to push and you're going to roll forward on this arm. Okay, Grace. So this is one of those exercise balls. Okay? And so when you line up like this, as I instructed, here, toe here, fingers pointing each other, and making this circle, it's almost like you're hugging a ball. Just like this. Okay? And so that's how you want your arm bent. Just like you have a ball just like this. So when the ball rolls, it's going to be smooth. And that's what you want your body to do. Alright Grace, next I'm going to show you how to do the actual fall. You notice that this mat is just a regular doormat, right? It's not very thick. Okay, so, and this is concrete, it's not sponge, and this is wood. But see this board right here, I'm going to use that as a line. That's going to be my guide, okay? So this tape will be on that guide, and this arrow, this triangle is pointing in my direction, right? So, let me line this up. Remember how I said, I'm going to put my toe here. Now this is just a left side roll, okay? For a right side roll, you would be doing this, okay? But we'll do this, we'll just do one side for now, okay? The left end is here. Remember, just like the ball, I'm going to be in a circle, okay? You want this arm like steel, really hard, okay? And do not make it straight and don't make it bend, okay? Do not let it bend. Keep it hard, nice and strong. Here, your fingertips go to the tip of the arrow. This hand points this hand. You're going to push off the back leg and you're going to fall forward. The elbow is going to follow right on this board, right on this line. Okay? So watch, I'll demonstrate. Okay? So that's just falling. One more time. Here, here, and I'll fall towards this board. Okay? So you notice that time I stood up. Why, I came all the way up. I didn't stay down. That's what you want to start to do. Okay? So now from a standing position, it's hard to just get ready to fall because, of course, you never expect to fall. But you want to always be agile, flexible, and be able to fall at any time if you have to. Okay? So, if you're standing, same principle applies. So you're going to step forward, put your hands here, here, and take a fall. Okay? So watch. I'm going to go from here, standing position, I'll take a fall, and I'll stand up. Okay? Just like that. Okay? So, you notice I came right up. Right? I just came right up. So, you want to be careful not to land too hard on the surface you're practicing on, even if it's a nice cushy mat, because if you have to fall, you fall off your bicycle or something, you want to roll. You want to be round and you want to roll up and stand up. Okay? Alright, Grace. Yes, I'm in a different uniform now. Your dad may not have told you or may not have known that I've also trained in Wushu for a good number of years, about 10 years. And I was training at, and teaching at a school up here in Northern California. But what I wanted to show you was other ways that other martial arts teach how to fall. And you notice I'm changing my uniform every time so that you can relate to the type of fall for that martial art. Now there's many ways to fall. Now this one is not particularly a fall, this is not particularly a roll, but there are things that you can identify with the art. This is a Chinese art called Wushu, W-U-S-H-U. You might identify it with movie stars like Jet Li and many others that have made it popular recently. So with Wushu, how you can identify some of the difference in what they do and to know the difference between a true Wushu style versus all of the hundreds of different styles of Chinese arts. Like they'll call them Kung Fu, but Kung Fu is a very generic name. It really is. So it's not specific. In the Chinese arts, they have Southern style, Northern style, and all of your animal styles. So there's so many different arts of Chinese martial arts that are different based on the region of the country as well. And as you might know, China is a very big country with a lot of people. Right. So let me just show you a couple things in a couple ways that we fall or break a fall in Wushu. So one is, it looks more like a suicide fall because it's going to look like I'm going to fall on my face. But you learn to sort of catch yourself, and you absorb your weight before you hit the ground. So to start, you can start on your knees, and when you begin, you can start with your hands out, okay? But do this in a very safe place where it's nice and soft, okay? This is still concrete now, okay? So in the beginning, you can start like this, and if you're going to fall, you just catch yourself here, just like that. Okay? You notice I'm on my knees. But you want to get to where you're relaxing, like you're walking, okay, and your hands are down here, and just catch yourself. Alright? But you eventually you'll learn how to do this from a standing position. Okay? So watch what happens here. So if I trip and fall on something, okay, so that allows me to save myself from scratching up my face or breaking a bone or something like that. Alright? So another thing I want to show you is a side roll that they do. It looks almost like a judo roll, but it's more of a side roll. And they come up in a horse stance, right? And a horse stance is like this, right? So from here, I'll roll on the side. So let's say I was to receive a kick or a strike over here, or maybe I'm trying to avoid something. I can roll on the side, very similar, okay, like that, okay? So that's another way that they roll in the martial arts, but again, this is the Chinese arts, right? Some of the things you can identify Wushu by is some of their unique techniques and some of their different stances. So in Wushu, their horse stance is this low, okay? Is this low. So your thighs are horizontal to the floor, okay? And what you might know as a cat stance. In karate, your cat stance is probably like this, right? Your hands are probably positioned like this in a cat stance. In Wushu, this is more of that type of stance. Here, and we get very low. Okay. All right. Well, you see me in a different uniform now. I'm going to show you a tumbling roll now, a gymnastics roll. Okay, this is what it looks like you were doing, where you go straight over. But one thing that you want to do is, number one, you don't want to do this on a hard surface. And number two, it's not really the right one to use in self-defense. But this is what they do for tumbling or for gymnastics. Okay? But if you do this kind of roll on the mat, two things you want to do. Be sure that you tuck your chin, and when you come up, you want to grab your knees and roll up. Because if you don't, your back will be straight. Okay? So you notice when I grab my knees like this, my back will arch and become the ball. Okay? So for tumbling, a front roll, you will start with 2 feet flat here, hands here. And you're going to tuck your chin, and you're going to go straight over, and you're going to land first on the top of your spine, right at your shoulders, and you're going to grab your shins, and you're going to roll up. Okay? So I'll demonstrate from here, and you stand up. Okay? So it shouldn't be really harsh. You don't want to have that hard hit on your spine back here. So most important, to save your spine, you want to come up. You want to grab your shins as you come up. That will help you roll up onto your feet. Okay? And you'll be able to stand up safely. Alright? Alright, Grace. Well, I hope the information's been good, and I hope I was clear enough so that you can benefit from this, as well as your dad, Jamie. Um, Grace, let your dad help you out. You can try to do this in your living room or someplace where you have some carpeting or, something a little soft. But take it slow. There's no need to rush. You have plenty of time. Okay? So if you have any questions, let your dad know, and he can get in touch with me, and I'll be more than happy to help you. Okay? So I'm really proud of you. I'm really glad to see you in the martial arts. As you know, by now, I've been doing this since I was pretty young, and it hasn't done me any harm, so it's a good thing. So it's all in your heart. So don't worry about the belts. Don't worry about any of that. It doesn't matter. It's really about what you know and what you learn and what you're able to do. Because I can wear any color belt and I'll still know what I know. Right? So it's about the time I use to practice. I could have always been better. Okay? But I could have always been worse. So it's the amount of time and effort that you put into the training. Okay? And so anything that you do to read or learn about the martial arts is very good. And I'm really happy to hear that you're reading the books on Bushido. That's very good. And I know it's real complicated, but it's great. It's great that you're doing that. Okay? So good luck, hard training, and keep it up, Grace. All right? Take care.